Hi, hello everyone. Let's come back to the chapter square and square root of class 8 mathematics. I'm Twinkle Kamra from Team Maths Made Easy. Here we start. Okay, let's just look at this first. Okay, the few questions that generally come in our exam are find the square of 42. अभी 42 का square निकाला without actual multiplication. If you look at what is actual multiplication, it's 42 into 42, right? But without doing this, finding the answer, how we can do that? It is so simple. You take 42 into 42, which can be written as 40 plus 2, okay? And it can be written as 40 plus 2. We have one algebraic expression which says a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? So let us apply this, which is equal to, see, this is what? This is 40 plus 2 square. So it is equal to 40 square plus 2 square plus 2 into 40 into 2, right? Which is equal to 40 square means 40 into 40, which is 1600, okay? Plus 2 square is 4, plus this is 2 into 40, 80, 80 into 2 is 160. When you add it, you get 1764. This is the answer. Without actual multiplication, found the answer, right? Then similarly, okay, finding the square of 102 without actual multiplication. Again, the same way. You keep 102 into 102, which can be written as, see, it is simple, it is 102 square. Yeah, I'm writing in a better way. What is this? This is 100 plus 2 and its square. Now applying the identity, 100 square plus 2 square plus 2 into 100 into 2. Simple. You just need to add it and you'll get the answer. I tell you, after adding it, you'll get 10404, which is the square of 102, right? All right. So now finding the square of a number ending with 5. Here is a trick, I tell you. See, I want to find the square of, let's say, 15. 15 square. How you do this? Simple. Last two digits are always fixed. 5 into 5, 25 will always get when the number is ending with 5. Okay. What is left? This 1. You multiply 1 into a number greater than it, which is 2. Just a number greater. So I get 1 into 2, it's 2. So the answer is 2 to 5. One more example. I said 25 square. Simple. At the end, you have to write 25 always for sure. Okay. 2 is here. So then multiply 2 into a number greater than it, which is 3. 2 into 3 gives me 6. 6 to 5. Let's take another. 55 square. Nice, huh? Your number ends with 25. 5 into a number greater than it, which is 3025. One more. Let's take 85 square. What is this? This is 25 at the end. 8 here. 8 into a number greater than it, which is 9. So the answer is 72 here. Answer is 7225. Simple, right? In one shot, you're finding the score of a number ending with 5. Remember one thing. This trick is applicable only for a number which is ending with 5. All right? Great. Now, understanding the area of right angle triangle. This understanding just right angle triangle. We all know right angle triangle, where this is my hypotenuse. This angle is 90 degree, which is making this triangle right angled triangle. This is hypotenuse. What is this? This is perpendicular. This is base. For right angle triangle, we have very famous theorem which says, which is Pythagoras theorem, right? So in this theorem, generally if you see, what do we have is that hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square, right, plus base square. Very simple. This is always that we have. Like if you look for this triangle, I give you an example. Just look at this triangle. If I take this, I have this 5, this 4, this 3, and this 90 degree. In this right angle triangle, hypotenuse is 5. So let's also check 5 square here. Is this equal to perpendicular is 4? So let me write 4 square. What is base? Base is 3. So let's write 3 square. 5 square is 25. 4 square is 16. 3 square is 9. 16 plus 9 is 25. And here also 25. Oh, great. They're equal. Yeah. So every right angle triangle, its sides satisfy this property. Remember one thing. If it is hypotenuse, you just always have to write a side which is in front of 90 degree. All right. And one thing, this these three numbers, 3, 4, and 5. We call them Pythagorean triplet. See, they are three numbers, so they're triplet. They're satisfying Pythagoras theorem. So we call them Pythagorean triplet. Right? Simple? All right. I want you to see this diagram. This is actually the proof of Pythagoras theorem, right? You look at this, the amount, the area, it is basically what this figure is telling us is that C square, area of big square, C square, is equal to the area of two small squares, which is B square plus A square. Hey, this is Pythagoras theorem, right? Okay, so understanding what is a Pythagorean triplet. Yes, first Pythagorean triplet. Let's take here. I'll be explaining you how to make a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, let me take any number. I mean, for any natural number, you can make a Pythagorean triplet. It should be important thing is it should be greater than 2. Okay, your Pythagorean triplet, आपका one side should always be greater than 2. All right. Okay, so I pick here. Let's say I take some even number. I take 4. Okay, what do? Half of 4 is 2. 2 square minus 1, and then 2 square plus 1. What is this? This is giving you 4. 4 minus 1, 3. 4 plus 1, 5. Yes, we made a Pythagorean triplet. Let's take any other even number. I'm just focusing on even numbers. Okay, I say 6. Okay, for 6, okay, let's just half it. What is its half? It is 3 square minus 1, then half of it, 3 square plus 1. What do I get? It is 6. 9 minus 1, 8. 9 plus 1, it is 10. I've got a Pythagorean triplet, right? One more case. Let's take 8. Half of 8 is 4. You square 4, you subtract 1. Similarly, you square 4, you add 1. What do I get here? 8. 4 square is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. 16 plus 1 is 17. Yes, we've got a Pythagorean triplet for 8. So, in general, what is the formula? If ever I'm having an even number, I first half it, which gives me m. Then I square it. Then I subtract 1. Similarly, I have m. I square it and then I add 1. Right? This is the Pythagorean triplet for even number. Yeah? Actually, look one thing here. So it is like you're halving it, okay? Yeah, I think it's been clear, right? Okay, one more example. Let's take for an odd numbers. How about if I have 5? How to make a triplet for 5? What do you do here? It's so simple. Simple. What do? You add plus 1, you square it, and then you divide by 2. All right? And in fact, you subtract 1, you square it, and then you divide by 2. What do you get? You get here, it is 5 5 plus 1, 6. 6 square is 36. 36 upon 2 is how much? 30. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 square, 16. Yeah. 16 upon 2 is how much? It's 8. Right? Yes. So let's look at this. Okay, if I have an odd number, so what is the case of odd number? Let's take 5, right? For 5, what do? You square 5, you subtract 1, and then you divide by 2. I'll tell you the trick. You have 5, you square 5, you add 1, you divide by 2. So what are you getting? It is simple. It is 5, comma 5 square is 25 minus 1 upon 2. 25 plus 1 upon 2, which gives me 5. 24 upon 2, right? 26 upon 2, and it is 5, 12, 13. This is my Pythagorean triplet for 5, right? Let's take one more example. Okay, I take 7. How you find for 7? You square 7, right? You subtract 1, you divide by 2. Comma, you square 7, you add 1, you divide by 2, right? So what are you getting here? It is simple. It is 7, comma 7 square is 49 minus 1 upon 2. 7 square is 49 plus 1 upon 2. So here it is. We are getting 7, comma 48 upon 2 is 24. 49 plus 1, 50. 50 upon 2 is 25. Great, we have got a Pythagorean triplet for 7. In general, for odd number, what do? The simple trick is, if you're having odd number, odd natural number, what do? You have odd, you first square odd, you subtract 1 and then you divide by 2. Okay? You square odd, you add 1, you divide by 2. Here it is. So nice, so interesting, right? I hope I was able to help you with the video. I'll be bringing more such videos, clearing the concepts very nicely. All right. Okay, then see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Till then, bye bye.